Well, here we are, the dog days of summer. You know the drill. Drink lots of water. Make sure that your four-legged friends get plenty to drink too.
Also, be thankful that it's not 110 years ago.
Why?
Well, think about it. People had dogs back then, right?
Yeah.
Right. They also had horses, mules, and oxen.
Okay, didn't think about that. That's a whole different level of four-legged thirst, which is what brings Jim Duffy of Secrets of the Eastern Shore in today, because apparently one of our little towns has a sweet, refreshing tale to tell.
Good afternoon.
Glad you're here, Jim.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. So the question then would be, which town do you have in mind?
We are in Ridgely, Maryland,
in
Caroline County, which was really a bustling town in the early 1900s. The train ran through there, so automobiles hadn't really arrived yet, so people are riding horses and carriages, and horses and the farmers are coming in from 5-10 miles out in the countryside, bringing all their oxen and mules and everything else, cart in the wagon. Do you know how when you go past a restaurant today, maybe they have a bowl of water out for the dogs on the sidewalk? Sometimes it makes me think that, oh, it's a kinder time, because I don't remember that from my childhood. I don't remember those bowls of my childhood. This is a whole different level of thirst. A little bowl outside is not going to cut it. So if you're coming into town from out of town, maybe there's a river or a stream and you can water up there. But when you get into town, nothing. The only option you have, if your pack animals are thirsty, is to knock on somebody's door and beg for water.
Okay.
And that is what brought a lot of children in Ridgely, Maryland, together to form something called the Forget-Me-Not Band of Mercy.
Forget-Me-Not Band of Mercy?
Isn't that a great name?
Yeah, it is.
I think it's a better name than, say, Society for the Prevention of Cruelty, or the Humane Society. It's more fun. It has more of a ring to it. And all those things are tied together. So in the late 1800s, the temperance movement that went on to outlaw alcohol and prohibition, they had these things, these little local chapters called Bands of Hope, made up of people who promised never to drink. They wanted to get children involved in the movement, and at the same time there was some sort of feeling about these animals, so they formed a Department of Mercy inside of the temperance movement. And the Department of Mercy started urging all their towns to form bands of mercy. And the bands of mercy were supposed to teach children to be kinder to animals in order to teach them to grow up to be kinder people. There was kind of a religious element to it as well.
All right.
So it was kind of like an SPCA
It
kind of
was.
thing?
And the whole movement, the SPCA and the Humane Society, they were all formed at about the same time, again, the late 1800s, which was much earlier than I kind of realized.
Okay. So let's go back to Ridgely.
Ridgely. So Band of Mercy, well, first of all, 27,000 Bands of Mercy around the country with more than 250,000 children.
Oh my goodness.
Really?
All between the ages of 5 and 10. That was the rule. They had a scoutmaster kind of thing, adult supervision of some sort. So they put on all these shows in town. They put on a carnival, they put on a Halloween parade, they put on a musical show. If they were doing it today, you guys would have them over on the soundstage over there, right? You could have them in and do them on the soundstage. The cool thing about it to me was the way the newspaper articles that I went through, they're just, our little band of mercy is doing something else. We must come out to support them. It took them less than a year to raise all the money they wanted. Now, this is not some little drinking fountain. This is more like a big decorative fountain in a park where 6 or 8 animals can come up and drink at the same time. It took them a year to raise the money, and on April 15th, 1915, they opened it up. The whole town came up. All our little towns had bands, community bands, and the band played, and the mayor spoke, and the ministers spoke, and they had a scroll with the names of all the girls, and they put it in a little compartment in the bottom of the fountain like a time capsule. And the ultimate moment came when this old horse named General came strolling up with his 90-year-old owner, and he was the first animal to be able to drink out of the fountain to wild applause from the community of Ridgely.
Oh,
it's a sweet story, isn't it?
It is a great story. Jim Duffy, Secrets of the Eastern Shore. As always, thank you so much.
Yeah.